Right, welcome everybody to the much anticipated, long-awaited tutorial for Heroes of Hedelbrine. We will get logged in here with a demo account and show everybody the basics of how to play. And here we go. Background music that plays during the home screen is tied to the default background screens. As you can see, you've got player stash, player name, coin, gems, wins. Wins are tied to your standard and ranked match modes only. And here you have your shop where you can, with coin and sometimes gems, buy rare components to the game that do not show up anywhere else. They will not come out of the tower mode, which I'll explain in a second. They do not come from anywhere else in the game except for the shop mode. These can be traded out randomly. Your tower, which we'll get into more later, but is the design for pulling of cards and unique items in the game. And its loot table, so briefly show you, gives you your items you can get and the basic drop percentages for those items. But we're going to spend more time in this tutorial over here in the gameplay section. We'll go into settings very quickly and just show different settings and characters in play where you can select a custom design of how many heroes and bosses you have in the deck for the game. It does force at least 4 heroes and 2 bosses. Right now we have it set to all, which is where I'll keep it. Special cards are toggled off. These are special modes for Queen of the Dead and Death's Toll, which we'll get into later. Learning mode I will enable for this just to give you a little sneak peek of what that looks like when you're playing the game. For the purposes of this demo tutorial, we will do a pass and play mode, which allows the player to play up to 4 players. We'll do 2 in our demo here, and name the player. This doesn't matter because it doesn't have to be a real player. We'll call them maybe no matter, but that might be too many characters. No, it's not. This will load the main game screen and grid and start the game with your player name down here in your default plaque. I'll show you more of that later and how plaques can be earned. Your 3x3 card grid for 9 cards. Your draw deck, the card you draw, and I'll explain what happened right there very quickly. The first time you draw a center character card from the draw deck, it forces it to the center. You do not have a choice. Subsequent draws on a center card, when you have one, you have the choice whether or not to trade that card out. This is the card that came from the draw deck to the center. It flips the card that was there into the flipped card flipped card what? What is this? Flipped card slot. And then you can decide whether or not you want to play this flipped card. This is a storied cape worth 5 points. It is an absolutely amazing cape. And if you notice on the character cards, they have specific symbols for what counts for them and what doesn't. Gold, blue, mythical, and diamond storied. This card over here has a diamond on it, which means these are positive points for the Queen, Meredith here. This is simple to do. It highlights the grid area that the card is supposed to go to. You simply click on it to move it in there. I will not click on this one because, as you can see, this is a silver coin and Meredith has no silver coin. This would be negative points for Meredith. Hovering over the cards, you can see down here, value 5, calculated value 5. And it gives you the position of upper right. So I'm going to discard the flip card, which will take it to the next player's turn. In pass and play, all of this is happening on the same computer. You can either have another player sit down and do this play, or you can use pass and play as a learning mode to play against yourself. In order to move, as you can see, it's telling you that the card in the discard pile, highlighted blue, goes here. You have to click it to move it to the drawn card, and then press here. You can't just click here to move this in from the discard pile. You have to be very purposeful. You can draw a card, which will move it to the drawn card deck, and then you can move this over, depending on whether you want to use this. Now, since this is silver, and the majority of the character cards in the game are hero cards that use silver, I am going to take this card. This flipped the card that was there into this. And as you can see, this is a bronze coin. It does not match this. Tattered are the lowest point values of the game and count only for peasant cards. And there's a boss card called Malachi that may come up where tattered gear cards are worth 4 points. That is that boss's special skill. But you'd want to be very careful about using tattered gear on anyone else, as it'll be minus points. I'm going to discard that card to flip back to the other player's turn. As you can see, Meredith does not work with bronze gear. Also, because I turned on the training mode, you can see I've got a red border here, and if I say let's play this, with that mode flipped on, it will tell you Ranger equipment is invalid for Meredith. This card will score -2 points. Play anyway. No, let's not do that. We'll go ahead and discard. As you can see, it is keeping point tally up in the upper right and the other player's score right below it, so you can see how each player is doing. I could put this here and play it, but this is an even card. It's just for a different character. So I'm going to draw out of the deck, and then I'm going to click where the shoulders go. As you see, it's highlighted in blue. These are both silver hero pieces. The flipped card is a peasant. If I play this peasant, this would be negative points because she's a bronze level character. The reason why it didn't force the peasant to the center is because it has to be drawn from the drawn deck. It can't be a flipped card. It can't be something that shows in the discard pile. The first center character that gets played by force must be drawn from the drawn deck. I'm going to go ahead and discard here and move to the next turn. And Meredith will keep going. Now this will be something special to show you some of the boss's special skills. This is Meredith's Familiar. Meredith has a special skill that I'm going to show you right now. When her Familiar is played, she becomes Spectral Meredith. This is her special skill. Only when her Raven is paired in the game will she convert to this mode. I'll also show you, by long pressing on the card, a little bit of a character screen will come up, and it'll give you a little bit of information on that. While her Familiar shoulder, this is the shoulder slot right here, is equipped, Meredith gains +1 per storied card at end of her turns. I'm going to fix the English on that, but you get, if there are storied cards in play, which there are right here, when I end this turn by discarding the flipped card that I don't want to use, you'll see a +1 pop up for Meredith. Alright, every single turn now, Meredith will get a +1 for every storied card in play. And then you'll see it right here as it starts to move up. I don't want this because that'll replace the card that I just put there. This is red. I don't want that. It doesn't count for me. I will continue to move through the deck until I find cards that work for me. This character just popped up a special card. It was in this flipped face down section. We're going to go ahead and click it and see if we get anything. 15 coins. There are coins, there are points, there are recharge to special skills for certain characters, and I actually can't remember what the fourth one is. So let's see. We're going to draw a card. That's not going to count for her. We're going to move to the next turn. We're good there. As you can see, I am following the blue outline. It's telling me where the cards go. They match, so I know if I put a hero in the center, this is all going to be positive points. I'm not going to put him in the center. He does not match, and he would be negative points. Continuing to draw, and here I just showed the boss Malachi is here. This is the one boss in the game where the tattered cards count for 4 points. I'm not going to replace this because I am flying with points with Meredith right now, and I'm in a great position to win. So I am going to discard the drawn card and let the next player take their turn. If this player were to select Malachi, they would have massive minus points. Because none of these, as you can see, no silver coin. Malachi counts for the most, but not silver. So I'm going to draw and discard because that card is not going to match. Continue to draw through the game, moving through items that are not going to count, hoping to get a good character here. The danger of filling all of your cards out before you have your character is that you may be forced to play a character off the draw deck, and it may be all negative points for you. So we're going to plow through this, continuing back and forth until the first player gets all 9 cards in, and then points are tallied to see who the winner is. This particular card counts for Meredith. You can see here the blue symbol, positive points, value 4, calc 4. This will not count for Meredith, wrong card type. Here's part of the strategy in the game. If I were to play this, which I'm going to because it has high point value, if I get a center character card that doesn't count with all of these pieces, it's going to be massive negative points for me. So this is a huge gamble to play all 8 equipment cards before I have a center card. But if this player were to go out prior to me getting a center, then all of those points would still be positive for me because I wouldn't have a center to negate any of my points. As you can see, a gold item. These are boss level cards. Even though this is Meredith and not Arnak, who's another boss in the game, it still counts as calculated value 3 because it's gold and matches. We're going to move to the next player's turn. Discard. I do not want that card, but guess what? She will use it. These are actually Meredith's Van Braces. See, the card is value 3, but because they belong to Meredith, you'll see what happens. Oh, I flipped another special card. We'll see what we get. 15 coins. And it will, you notice that it automatically moves turns for you when you don't have any other moves. You don't have to sit there and click on everything all the time. I was going to show you this. Value 3, calc 6. Calc 6 because it is actually her equipment, and anyone who wears their own equipment has doubled score. I am going to purposely change this helmet out for this one because I have 2 other general pieces right now. As I gain specific gear pieces to specific heroes, they start to calculate and ramp up in points. +1 after you have their 3rd, another +1 for their 4th, all the way up to their 8 items, which gets you a total of an additional 6 points. I am not going to take this card right here. It is worth 5. It is a storied item, but this is a calculated value of 6, and I'm not going to take that card. This person probably would take this card because these count for so many additional heroes. I am not going to do that. I am going to take that storied card, and then I can let you guys in on a significant component of the game that I will teach you right now. Storied cards can be combined into transcendent cards, and I'll show you how to do that. You select the card that you want to merge into another storied card. The one you select first, you're going to lose. The one you click on second will upgrade to a transcendent card. This is the one I'm going to lose. This is my new transcendent card. It was the last move I can do, so obviously it switched turns. I'll come back to it on this turn and show you this card as a value 7, calc 7, as you can see, it starts as a 6-point card, but every turn, this will gain in points by 1, all the way up to 10. That's the value of a storied card. It will eventually become worth the 2 cards that you replace to get it, but you also have an open slot now, for instance, to play these gloves. So now I can have more value in the cards after I've moved them into Transcendent. If you get another Transcendent card, they will multiply their score even further. And I'm just going back and forth now, seeing which player can actually find. As you can see, Meredith has moved her way up to 30 points, and plus 5 points added onto my score. The Angelic got played in the center. You saw the final turn because that second player's full grid is filled out. They have absolutely no chance of beating Meredith at this point, but there is a badge that you can earn if you do beat Meredith while she's in the spectral Meredith form. The game will then flip cards that have not been flipped and send them to the trash when they don't go where they're supposed to be, and do your final point calculation. And I just unlocked my Finish a Game in Learning Mode badge, and now you have your winning game menu. Demo 1, 62 points against No Matter, 34 points. In demo mode, you earn no points. So I'll go ahead and click Home, and that is a basic tutorial of how to play the card game, which that particular pass and play mode is also the same as your standard match. It works exactly the same, except now standard will give you coins, which you can use to unlock your ranked mode. Notice here that I won my learning mode game and got this neat badge. You can go into your player's stash. I'll show you this, where you can see your cosmetics earned. Here's your badges, background images. These are defaults except for the new badge we just earned. Gear that will come from the tower based on pulls. Standard matches also win random Mastercraft cards as well. Resources, which you have 0 of, and no dust collected so far. We'll cover the player's stash in more detail in future videos. No artifacts, so as you can see, a brand new player, nothing earned. And again, this will be covered in future videos, and I'll show you just right now the area map where you can see what the next component of the game starts to become. These are siegeable forts, strongholds, and the city of Hedelbrine, currently occupied by my admin account. Dragon's Lair, which happens Saturdays at 8 p.m. once a week. Players that have a city commander, which you'll see this one does not, can siege the cities. Dungeon commanders can participate in dungeons. This is the Queen's Crypt, which is currently 8 p.m. Eastern every night, not open. In order to get city and dungeon commanders, you need to have gear score, and you earn gear score through standard matches and winning those matches with a hero in the center. So again, those will be covered on future videos. Hopefully that did a good job of explaining how to play the basic game, and you'll be able to take what you've learned here and start playing in Pass and Play to learn more about it, and then try your hand at standard matches, which queue you against other people in the standard match queues. So, thank you. We'll see you again in another video.